We all know that every first week of August is the week when we talk about breastfeeding the more. And here on HealthPod, we cannot just leave it go. We cannot just let it go. We have to talk about breastfeeding. And this year's theme is so amazing. It is Step Up for Breastfeeding. Therefore, as a mother, one upcoming mother, one expecting mother, you're mandated to breastfeed that baby for 6 months exclusively. Therefore, when we do that, when we breastfeed our children exclusively, trust me, we shall eradicate the malnutrition that has been registered amongst our children. But I welcome you to today's episode of HealthPod. HealthPod is a program brought to you by Makerere University School of Public Health, together with Church of Uganda Family TV, and we basically look at maternal health, early childhood development, and other public health concerns. We are delighted this evening to have an amazing team that is going to talk about issues to do with public health. And you don't need to miss them. You don't need to miss out what they're going to talk about. When I talk about amazing, yes, they're amazing because it is a team of young people who are energetic, but they have gathered their energy to make sure that they transform communities because they want to see a new Uganda, a Uganda free from diseases. That is why we are here today. Edwin Austin Mukalas is my name. And our guests are Ray, who is also the founder of Ray United FC. And we are also delighted to have the country director of Ray United FC, who is Tumuhimbise Penina. So this is part of the amazing team that we are talking about. And Ray, kindly greet our viewers before we go into our discussion today.
Well, thank you so much for having us, Eddie. As he said, my name is Ray Whipfley, the founder of Ray United FC, and we're very excited to be here today to talk to you about our new Youth Ambassadors program.
Wow. Penina.
Okay. Thank you, Eddie. Penina Tumuhimbise. I'm the country director for Ray United FC. I'm so happy to be here and please enjoy.
Yeah, I'm glad that you people have come, and you've come at a time when you've just disseminated part of the research that you've carried out in the Youth Public Health Ambassadors Program. So we are so much excited to know about this. But before we get into this, we shall first of all, Ray, you'll first of all tell us about Ray United FC.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, Ray United FC is a nonprofit organization based in the United States. It was founded in 2015 after I came to Uganda for the first time. And since then, we have done many, many things in the interest of public health. The first of which, when we began, was public health soccer camps in which we served over 1,000 youth, first in PG, then in Oyam and Lira, with a week full of professional soccer training, public health education, and medical outreach. And that is what we have done for the last 7 years approximately. And now we have expanded to include many other programs. Most recently, we are working very closely with the Ministry of Health and Swim Safe Uganda on drowning prevention programs and water safety programs. We are engaged in youth vision trips, and most recently, which we are very excited to share with you today, our Youth Public Health Ambassadors program.
Wow. So what prompts you to start up this initiative, this organization in Uganda?
Well, I first came to Uganda when I was only 10 years old, and I came with my mom, who is a professor of public and global health at the University of Southern California. And before I came to Uganda, the only thing I knew was that the people in Uganda really like football, really like soccer. And so in the interest of that, I collected some soccer materials, some soccer jerseys and soccer balls, and disseminated them to a school in Mpigi district. And I also had the opportunity to play in a soccer match with them. And what I found is that through soccer, even though these children were so different than I was, coming from the entire opposite side of the world, we were so similar when we were on the pitch. We shared a common goal. And so that is what initially brought me in to working in Uganda and got me connected to working with these youth. They inspired me, and in that same way, I hope to empower them in the work that we do.
Okay. Wow. Penina,
Yes.
you're the country director. How do you then join in into Ray FC, Ray United FC?
Actually, I joined Ray United FC at first as a Ray FC volunteer. I joined the 2018 medical camp. So I had a colleague we were working with, and he said, "Oh, you can actually come and help out in running a medical camp, and this is very, very, very important to the work that we're doing." And I showed up for the medical camp. We did great work, and people were so amazed in the community. And then the next time I showed up, I attended actually the soccer and public health camp, and I was hooked. So I loved what we did. It was so much fun, and just a few months later, I was joining in as the country director for United FC.
Wow, this is so interesting. And he talked about some of the activities that Ray United FC does, because we realized they have now gone beyond public health. Okay, beyond sports. Much as that is one of the things that was in your mind when you are coming back to Uganda after the other time that you came with your mom. So when you now introducing the medical camps, you introducing the public health programs. So Penina, I want you to take us through some of the specific programs that you as the country director carry on in Ray United FC.
Okay, so since joining Ray United FC, we've been running the soccer public health camp, we've been running the youth vision trips, and I think because of the pandemic, we were cut short, but we were supposed to run the Safe Splash Camp 2020, which we recently actually had. But we've done some research in Lira. We've done drowning prevention assessments, assessing drowning prevention interventions in Maringa district. We've done community outreaches that involve learn to swim and water safety skilling. And why we're here today, the Youth Public Health Ambassadors Program that is part of our community health assessment in Lira.
Okay. So Ray, how does it mean to work with the team in Uganda, especially because now we are looking at the youth public health ambassadors program, and how does it feel to work closely with the young people in Uganda, in Africa?
Well, it really is.
And specifically Lira, because Lira is one of the far and someone would have termed as remote districts. So how does it mean to leave the States and go down to Lira?
Well, it has really been an incredible experience. I mean, we work with youth in Lira district, but we also work with university students from Makerere University and from the University of Southern California. And to work with this team has been such an incredible experience. We are so dynamic. We have public health specialists from our universities, but we also work with professional musicians. And there's so much energy that surrounds all of our programming. And that, I think, is really the core of why we are so successful on the ground. And the youth in Lira have been so inspiring. You will hear next week from our youth public health ambassadors, and I hope that you too will find how impressive they are. So to sum it up, it's been an incredible experience. We are so inspired by both our university colleagues and those in the villages in Lira and across Uganda.
Well, Penina,
Yes.
back to you. I know working with youth is not something easy, and what does it feel to work with the youths in Lira, and what have you achieved out of this entire program?
I can say, I will testify that it has been a very, 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 very amazing experience working with these youth in Lira, because like you said, you have a diverse team.
Mm.
We have musicians in the team, we have public health specialists, we have different categories of facilitators, and so comes for the youth because we've been running these soccer and public health camps in primary schools, in secondary schools, out of school kids, and working with all of these kids and working with all of these youth is really, really empowering for them and exciting for us when you're seeing the impact that we're actually making in their lives and their communities.
Wow. So even as before you go for the commercial break, Ray, having had all this vision and having, breastfed it and seen it growing, so what do you feel? How do you feel now each time you see the fruits? Because we shall have some of the youths in Rila to come and share with us some of their experiences being part of this big team. But to you, when you sit back, do you see that you've achieved all that you wanted to achieve when starting up Pray United FC?
Definitely. And it's interesting that you bring up the breastfeeding analogy because it really does feel like a child. What started as something that was so small and innocent, we had no great plans of expansion and doing all of these immense programs. But I can say now that I am very, very proud, and I look at my team on the ground, and I look at the youth who we're impacting, and I feel lots and lots of pride. And you ask if I'm satisfied, and I'm happy with where things have gone, but I am not yet satisfied. We will continue to do work. We will continue to see just how far we can take this. There is yet work to be done, and we are excited to do it.
Okay. So, Penina, what is the criteria of being part of this program?
So for the Youth Public Health Ambassadors program that is run in Lira, it has been largely run by the local-based organization, Children's Chance International, that has been on ground. They went through a selection and recruitment process, very rigorous, as they will share too. And we involved the local council leaders, we involved their parents, we involved at least people in the community to come and take part of this selection and recruitment process, because they're going to be ambassadors in their community and also ambassadors of them to us. So we had a process that they went through. We did interviews with them, and then we recruited 30 youth that are aged between 17 and 22. And it has been helpful to have that process because we sieved out the cream de la creme of the community, of these youth in the sub-counties. And it has really been helpful, and it has been a good experience having these youth ambassadors with us.
So having been part of the vision of Ray United FC, do you see any fruits out of this program, or there are no fruits registered yet?
Yeah, I can share a little bit about the program, what we've done, and how it has actually been fruitful for us as a team, and I think public health field at large. So we did conduct like 3 trainings, we call them workshops in our program. We did the first workshop, we trained them on public health basics, because these are ambassadors, or these are youth that we picked from the community that didn't have previous knowledge of public health. We trained them, we educated them, we interacted with them, and they picked up a lot. We trained sanitation and hygiene, we did nutrition, sexual and reproductive health, mental health training, and they really got polished and learned a lot. And then we gave them some resources to go and conduct community trainings. And this was really, really helpful because they had a good response from their communities. And then we did a second workshop where we trained them how to go and collect information, because we are in the new trend, which is evidence-based research or evidence-based data. So they had to go to their communities and actually do the community health assessment themselves, involving their community members. And they did that very well, because we've used some of that information to actually go to Parliament, to go to Makerere School of Public Health and be able to disseminate such information. And we had a third workshop where we've actually trained them to stakeholder engagement, to do stakeholder mapping, to speak in public. The testimonies are coming along. I think the next episode or the next time you watch our program, you'll be able to see how much they have flourished over time compared to how they were speaking before and how much knowledge they had before they joined the program. So I can say we've done our best to put in work into these youth ambassadors, and have really not disappointed us and have trained the communities that trusted the district health team. They have been recognized by the district health team. They are in support, they work in support of the VHTs. They can consult them and they're doing health promotion in these communities. So I can say it has been very, very, very fruitful. If it was a mango tree, then we poured it down.
So Ray, as we go for the commercial break, what are there is there anything you should expect after the Youth Public Health Ambassadors Program, or you're pushing on the Youth Public Health Ambassadors Program to other districts across Uganda?
Yes, the plan is to push the Youth Public Health Ambassadors program all across Uganda. We have plans to do so. We are going to continue with all of our programming, including the public health soccer camps, which have been on hiatus since 2020 during the pandemic. So we will continue to do all of the work that we have been doing, hopefully in an even larger capacity and in more districts across the country.
Wow, this is so interesting. And we are taking a short commercial break. But when we come back, we shall have Abigail, Kim, and Emmanuel Belinda. So don't go anywhere. They're the volunteers who are going to share with us their experience working with these youths in Leader. Thank you so much for watching HealthPod. HealthPod is a program brought to you by Makerere University School of Public Health, together with Church of Uganda Family TV. And we're basically looking at maternal health, early childhood development, and other public health concerns. Today we have a special episode of HealthPod that you don't need to miss. You who started with us, you had a dose of what we have. And in this episode, we have another team. These are volunteers. We have Emmanuel Belinda, who is from Makerere University School of Public Health, but we also have Abigail Kim, who is from the University of Southern California. And the two universities have partnered to see that they improve our health here in Uganda. Why are they volunteering? How does this partnership come in? How do they join the Ray United FC? Those are some of the answers that we should expect from them. If they don't answer them, you'll have done us a disservice. But we are delighted we have you this evening. Kindly greet Abigail, ladies first. Kindly greet our viewers before we continue.
All right. Hi, my name is Abigail Kim. I'm currently pursuing my Master of Public Health at the University of Southern California, and I've had the privilege of working with Ray United FC for the last year and a half.
Wow. So, for the last year and a half, you've been in Uganda or you've been in the US?
I've been in the US for most of it.
Okay.
Yes.
How long have you been in Uganda?
Now I've been here for about 3 weeks. Yes.
Oh, you're still new here. You need to have some time in Uganda. Emmanuel,
Yes.
you're home.
I'm sorry.
Kindly greet our viewers and then.
Yes, thank you, Eddie.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. My name is Emmanuel Belinda, a public health professional or public health specialist. I work with Makerere University School of Public Health, as Eddie put it earlier on. And I'm very, very glad to be here on this show.
Wow. Abigail, how do you get in touch with Emmanuel in the first thing? How do you link up together, and how do you choose to volunteer in Ray United FC?
Yeah, so as part of our Ray United FC and Makerere and USC partnership, I first met Emma through Zoom. I think it was during the time of COVID, and virtual world was booming, and so we were able to join in on meetings weekly on Zoom calls and really be part of the whole process of the Youth Public Health Ambassador Program. So we helped with developing curriculum, we helped with developing survey tools for data collection that our ambassadors used, and just throughout the whole research and program development process, we've been partnering together.
Okay. So, Emmanuel, you as a young person, energetic, why have you sacrificed all your energy into empowering communities in this Youth Public Health Ambassadors Program?
Interesting way to put it, sacrifice. Yes, so as the youth, we have quite a lot of energy, and this energy, as a person who's been trained in public health, as I'm a professional now, I feel like it would be so of much use to the people in our country if we try and give out the love, give out the information. They say knowledge is power. And our country, about over 75% of our population, demographically, they're all youth. They're all like me. So I feel like I've gotten a chance to go through a system for school, get to Makerere University, get trained, and get all this information that I have right now. So it is so, it makes me have joy to see that I've gotten a chance to interface with the youth from all those areas that we have reached out to, teach them, see them get the information I have, and see them use the information I have. So earlier on, you talked about the public health ambassadors that we trained. Right now, I feel so proud seeing them in the communities, empowering the people they are teaching, actually in their local languages. Sometimes I really don't even understand what they're teaching the people they're talking to, but you just see the happiness. Nowadays, the youth, we try to call it vibe. You see the vibe that is all over the place, and you really feel happy. So that is the reason as why I feel energized. That's why I feel like I need to sacrifice and send out this information for the betterment of all of us and the youth as well, putting each other in the country.
Okay. So, Abigail, as part of your stay in Uganda and part of what you're doing as a volunteering as under Youth Public Health Ambassadors Program, what are some of the challenges you've encountered dealing with these young people?
That's hard to answer, I guess. I mean, the challenges are really, I think, coming. I think just in a region where there has been just a lot of turmoil, specifically in the northern region. I think we see that just the status and the condition of health is very difficult to see, the challenges that the communities are facing. But I think really what's encouraging about the work that Ray United, in partnership with Children's Chance International, with our ambassadors, is doing is that we're really seeking to address that and to counter, I think, the years and years of conflict that they've been experiencing. And so it's encouraging to see that there is a way to be helping and to be supporting and empowering these communities.
So are you willing to work with these communities in Uganda for the next 5 years if there is an opportunity?
Absolutely, definitely.
Oh wow, this is interesting. We hope to see you again giving testimonies of another community. So Emmanuel, I want you to talk about the partnership between the School of Public Health and the University of Southern California.
Okay. So for the partnership, before I go there, I started working with Ray United FC in 2018. So 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022 now. That is roughly about 5 years now working with them. So we have had a lot to discuss. We have had a lot of things. We started small, as we put it earlier on. This is like a child that we brought up over and over again. So over the years, we've been expanding the work that we're doing. We're trying to get more public health topics onto the program. We are trying to do surveys in the communities, get the problems in those communities, bring them onto the program, and make curriculums with the support we have from our colleagues from the University of Southern California, make the curriculums and teach these youth that we have in the communities about those problems, how can they solve them, get for them feasible solutions, local feasible solutions, and then they can move on with those. So how does the partnership get into play?
Yeah.
So we realize that as a Makerere University team, we have the local context here, and we've been in these communities. Personally, I've been playing football. I grew up from Movende, a district called Movende District. So I know these local communities in and out. I studied there for primary. Over all the 7 years I was studying from there. So I know the local context. I know what it feels like to live in a village. I know what it feels like to go and fetch water, or to go and find that the water is not there, it is dirty. So I know some of the public health problems that we've been facing over the years. So given that local context that we had, and the expertise in programming that our colleagues from University of Southern California had, Abby is one of them. We have another team. Some of them have not been able to come to the show today. Yes, but given the technical expertise that they have with programming, we join our hands together. Those are the meetings that she was talking about earlier on, in very weird hours of the day. You know, we have a 10-hour difference in the hours. So you wake up at 3 in the morning and you're going into a meeting to discuss things for 2.5 hours. It is really interesting to do. So we get together, develop the curriculums, and start on the teaching process. So during that process, we give them the basics of public health. So the basics of those, we talk about topics like reproductive health, break that down in there as public health people. We talk about risky behaviors, we talk about mental health, very important, but usually not taken as serious, especially in a country like Uganda. We talk about water, sanitation, and hygiene. Ooh, that's a very nice topic. I really love water, sanitation, and hygiene. Yes, among others like HIV, we talk about sickle cells, genetic diseases, among others. So during that process, we also empower them with knowledge to do with public speaking. They would have to get confident with the information that they have, ensure that they can easily communicate to their communities, regardless of the language that they're using. Let it be English, let it be the local language that they're using. We train them, give them the information, and I can say right now, when you see what is being done in the communities, we have a few platforms on social media where I think our viewers can go to look at some of the videos, some of the pictures taken in the communities when you're working. It is just amazing, and it makes me really, really proud to be one of the facilitators of the program.
Wow. So, Abigail, time. I know time cannot let us exhaust everything. But what are your last remarks? And hopefully, as we wind up, you also send some regards to the people out there who are watching you.
Yeah, so I'm just so grateful to be part of this whole program and the process. I think one of the key lessons that I have taken away from this experience as a student of public health, coming from another country specifically, I think I realized that the key to global health is partnerships. Really, it's about building bridges. So within the community, we have the ambassadors, our local organizations. Then within a country, it's between a university like Makerere University and students from all over the country coming to certain communities to mentor, to build up those communities. And then, of course, internationally, between the University of Southern California, for example, and Makerere, and these communities, and just building up capacity and support. And so that's been a really cool part of our work, and I send my greetings to the rest of our University of Southern California team, to my family and friends back home. So thank you for having me.
Belinda, what I'll send some regards to the people out there, the team you work with, and those who are watching you.
Oh, I am so happy to be sending regards. I want to send the regards, first of all, to the youth of Uganda. I really want to, and East Africa. I'm sure we're being watched by quite a number of people.
Yes.
So to the youth, I really love you all so much. I'm really always excited to work with the youth. And I'm sure if the training continues, that we've been doing it, getting more ambassadors, public health ambassadors in these places, multiplier effect. We shall have a higher reach. So you teach 2, the 2 teach 4, the 4 go to 8, 8, 16, 32. You do the math. So I'm really always excited to work with the youth in these communities. For the greetings, I want to send the greetings to my fellows that I've been working with from Makerere University School of Public Health. There are a number of them. I want to extend my appreciation as well to those who taught me from school, those who mentored me, those who brought up the program. I think it is the School of Public Health has a hand in the show. So thank you very much to all of you for putting this up and for being able to let us disseminate information through these platforms to reach the young children out there, to reach the young girls and young boys, to reach the youth, and all the other people in the other age brackets. So thank you very much, all of you.
Thank you so much, the entire team. Thank you so much, Ray, for this vision. If this is all because he bared this vision and was determined to see it grow. It is the reason we have this program today. But also, I want to thank Professor Lynn Atuyambe, who is from the Department of Community Health and Behavior Science at the School of Public Health, who is behind all this initiative and partnership. And in a special way, let me thank Dr. Christine Narandalutu, who is the coordinator of this Health Port program. I remain Edwin Austin Mukalazi. I've worked with Jonah Jal, the producer, Bantam in transmission, but of course with a very big team that works here and there to see that you have the very best on Health Port. May the Almighty God bless you and good night.